Hello ladies and gents, welcome back again. It's been a long time. I'm gonna give you my top 8 candidates, a preview of the draw in this 2023 French Open. For the first time since 2005, Rafael Nadal, the clay court monster, the clay court beast, the 14-time champion, is not playing. That's sad news for tennis players because I want the best players to compete, and especially on clay, where we know Rafael Nadal has won this tournament 14 times. He withdrawn to 2016, I think it was in the 3rd or 4th round. But other than that, he has played every single year since he entered the tournament in 2005. And I sure miss him because Rafael Nadal, to see him play clay court tennis, it's a textbook signature that he signed. But it's too difficult to repeat and replicate his game style on clay. Alright, I have fastened my seat belts, so it's gonna be some action. My top 8 candidates, I'm gonna go through them one by one until I reach the number 1 spot. And that is of course my winner. Like you all know, if you have watched my videos before, my number 1 candidate will be at the number 1 position. Alright, let's go through this draw. On my number 8 spot, who do I have there? I have the last year's runner-up from French Open. I have the US Open runner-up from the US Open last year. I have the World Tour Finals runner-up in Turin from last year. That's Casper Ruud. He is also a runner-up in Miami Masters. So Casper Ruud, a clay court specialist with 10 titles under his belt. He has won 10 titles, but look at his titles. He's a consistent player. He has shown that he's consistent on every surface except grass. But of all those 10 tournaments, don't get me wrong, great achievement. Many players can dream of winning an ATP 250 tournament or a challenger even. All of his titles, I think, if I'm not mistaken, are ATP 250 status. So he doesn't have any ATP 500s, no Masters, and of course no Grand Slams to his name. Still competitive, still a great mover on court, still a shot tolerant guy. He has the basics in the game, and extra, of course, he has a great forehand, great backhand, great stamina. He can trade duels. He's very reliable guy, but as soon as he meets a bigger name than him on the ranking, he usually gets the shortest straw. So I think that in this year he has many points to defend this year. The Masters runner-up points, the World Tour Finals points, the two Grand Slam that he has been runner-up. So this is gonna be a big test for Casper Ruud. Due to the draw, his first week is okay. He has a qualifier in the first round. Perhaps in the second round also if Bublik loses against the qualifier. And then in the 3rd round, he has an ATP Master clay tournament runner-up in Dusan Lajovic, who is rock solid. He beat Novak Djokovic this year earlier in Bosnia. So I think that he can play great tennis, but is that enough against Casper Ruud? I don't know. And in the 4th round, he has either Tommy Paul or Jan-Lennard Struff, a guy that I really like because he serves and volleys. He's going for the trigger very early. He doesn't go into necessary duels. He doesn't want to keep the ball alive so much. So the first week is okay for Casper Ruud. But then I think that he will lose in the quarterfinal. And I'm going to go into that later. And I'm going to go into my number 7 spot. And who do I have on my number 7 spot? It's the guy that got injured last year at the French Open. He was toe-to-toe with Rafael Nadal. He played some great tennis that week until he got that terrible injury. And that is, of course, Sasha Zverev. Alexander Sasha Zverev is on my 7th spot. He has Harris, the South African dude, in his first round, and then he will probably take on Hugo Gaston, who can be a little bit tricky. I don't know. I think he will not be in contest for Zverev if he's really I know that he's not 100%. He's not reached that level yet, but still great enough and a big name in Grand Slams. So I think that Sasha really has great potential to win this match against Gaston and advance to the third round, where I probably think that he's gonna take on Francis Tiafoe in the third round. That's gonna be a test, and his biggest test before the quarterfinals, of course, is in the fourth round. He will face either Dimitrov or Yannick Sinner. All right, I know that Yannick Sinner is a superb talent. He has been that since he entered the tennis scene. Many guys have hyped this guy. His gaming style is similar to Andy Murray and Tomas Berdych. He hits. I think that he's one of the guys on tour that hits the ball hardest. And what I've seen, he's not a super great mover. He makes critical decision. The reason why I don't put Sinner in my top 8 list is not because he's a terrible player. He has a decent draw. He can reach the quarterfinal. It's not an upset if he reaches the quarterfinals. But to be honest, with that ball striking skills, he hit the ball so hard. He is very limited because he's too one-dimensional. You can actually get through to Yannick Sinner if you play and mix up the game. I don't know. I don't trust his levels. It's same with Felix Auger-Aliassime and of course Denis Shapovalov, the Santa Claus, the Santa Valov guy that has so much talent but has never fulfilled his true potential. Only one title, and that was in Stockholm. I was there. I saw him there. He played great tennis there, but is an ATP 200 tournament. So Shapovalov and Felix Auger-Aliassime and Sinner, I don't think any of those guys are gonna reach the second week, even though Sinner and Felix have the chance actually. But I'm gonna go with my gut, and I think that he's too limited, Yannick Sinner. He doesn't have the mental strength. He disappears too much. He can play tremendously high octanic level of tennis, but then for 10 minutes he plays like a challenger player, and that's why I don't trust him, and that's why I keep him out of the top 8, and that's why I think that Zverev, that's of these 8 sections, I think that this section is the most open, because we have Zverev there, we have Tiafoe, we have Dimitrov, we have Sinner. All of them can actually, if they play great that week, reach the quarterfinals. But my gut feeling says Sasha Zverev. So I'm gonna stick with that. On my number 7 spot is Sasha. Alright, on my 6th spot is another runner-up here. It's the Greek youngster. He's still a youngster in my eyes, Stefanos Tsitsipas. Why do I have him so low? Because he hasn't shown anything great this year. He has lost the Barcelona clay court final against Alcaraz. Actually, Alcaraz thrashed him in that final. It seems like he has taken a step back. The other guys are behind him that he was ahead of, or have almost surpassed him. They are on his level now. He has a great first strike tennis playing style. We know that. He has a superbly great forehand. He has a great serve. But his backhand and his return will always and remain the Achilles heel of his tennis. So I don't know if he has some injury issues, Stefanos, but I think that it's not the Stefanos Tsitsipas we saw last year and the year before. Actually has gone down in level, in my opinion, and that's why he has not won any title this year. In the first round, he's going to take on Vesely. In second round, Corbeas Bayanas. In the third round, I think that he's going to take on Zabata, who's a tricky player. And in the fourth round, it's a bunch of names that comes to my mind. It's either Felix, Sebastian Corda, who are really great on clay, and maybe, this is a very long shot, Fabio Fognini. Maybe it's a dream, because I also like Fabio Fognini's playing style when he is in the zone. But this happens like once or twice a year. Alright, so on my number 6 spot, I have the Greek, Stefanos Tsitsipas. I don't know, maybe I'm too kind. Maybe I should have put him on the 7th place or 8th, but still he won't reach further than the quarterfinals, I think. All right, on my number 5 spot I have Andrei Rublev. Andrei Rublev, who has played great tennis this year. He has won his first master tournament at Monte Carlo. He defeated Holger Rune there. He has played great tennis through the year, but he has his dips also. He's also too consistent. His mental toughness is not that hard. Look what happened in the AO Novak Djokovic. Even though it was playing against one-man field here, he was much superior in that match. Rublev didn't show any mental toughness there, and he can disappear from matches. He gets bothered very easy, and he loses his focus very easy, and that's why he has never won a Grand Slam. That's why he has never reached the Grand Slam semifinal, and that's why he has never reached never been a runner-up in the biggest tournament so far. He has lost a couple of finals, of course, but Rublev have not a superbly tough draw. He has Jere in the first round, and then Mutet maybe in the second round, maybe Humbert or Sonego in the third round. That's gonna be a test for him, and in the fourth round either way it's gonna be Khachanov or the former champion in Wawrinka, the 3-time Grand Slam winner, in big decline. But when he wants to play great tennis, I think that he knows that this Grand Slam is maybe his last chance of winning a Grand Slam, because he won't be a competitor in Wimbledon or the US Open, because his move doesn't move so fast like he used to do. So on clay he have time. He knows that he has a superbly high A game, but his low level is very low. So that's why I think that his journey ends in the 4th round, maybe in the 3rd round against Khachanov, who knows. But either way, Khachanov has also played superbly great since US Open last year. So don't be shocked if you see him in the 4th round or in the quarterfinal. He can actually take out Rublev. I think that he has a little bit edge against him. I don't know the head-to-head between them, but it feels like he can take out Rublev without any problems. All right, then we are going into the top 4. We have only 4 guys left. Ruud on my 8th spot, Zverev on the 7th, Tsitsipas on the 6th spot, and Rublev on the 5th spot. So we have only 4 guys left, and on my number 4 spot I have chosen maybe the new bad boy. I don't know, it depends on how you see it, but I think that this guy is a fresh air, is a fresh breeze to the tennis circuit. I really like him because he plays great tennis. He's so brave for his age. He doesn't surrender so easy, but like almost every 99% of the tennis players on the tour, he has his flaws. He has things that he needs to improve to be much better. But this guy has showed some toughness, even though he has lost a couple of finals in his career. I think he's been in 8 finals and lost half of them. But in this year, he has been a runner-up in both Rome and Monte Carlo, the clay court masters. He has done a great job. He lost against Rublev in the Monte Carlo and Medvedev in Rome lately. And that's the Danish youngster, Holger Rune. Why do I believe so much in him? Because, first of all, he's a much better player than last year. Last year he reached the quarterfinals. His draw in the first 4 rounds are pretty easy. If you look at the paper, it's Eubanks, maybe an upset alert in Bias in the 2nd round. He has Kecmanovic, who also, he's a decent player, so it's not that super easy, like I said. I take my words back. And then in the 4th round, he has either Taylor Fritz or Richard Gasquet. 2 guys. Sorry, that was my paper that I had to write down because I only looked at the draw very quickly, so I had to add up some names here. So Holger Rune has those guys in these first 4 rounds that they have chances. If he have a chance to defeat them, he will be in that quarterfinal, I think. And he has the firepower. He has the movement. His serve is something that he can improve. His tactical skills is something he can improve also. But he's young and bold, and you have to give him that. But he has superior firepower than most of these guys on the top field here at French Open. And he really doesn't give up. He likes to be the underdog, and he's a great mover, and he is a wise player. He knows how to play and structure up his point. Sometimes he lacks of stamina, I know that, but it's difficult to play on a clay court, and it depends on who you're playing against, of course. If you play against a wall like Medvedev in Rome, you have difficulties. I think that in that tournament, I think that only Alcaraz was the guy that could hit through him, but he lost in the earlier round against one-hit wonder Marushan, who actually played great in those two first matches, I think, or was it the 3 matches before he lost to Chorich. So, semi-final spot for Holger Rune. I really hope that I'm right here, because I like that player. He is a great player. But we can disappear in the quarterfinals also. I'm going to go into the quarterfinals also. All right, on my number first spot, who do I have there? I have the big hyped guy, the guy that everybody believes in, the guy that is the next superstar of tennis, the world #1 player, Carlos Alcaraz, is on my number first spot. I have him as the number 3 spot. Why do I have him so low? Well, still, to me, he has a little bit more to show. I believe the hype. I'm on the hype train. Of course, he has won a Grand Slam. He has won a couple of Masters. He has won Madrid Masters. He has won Barcelona, 2 clay preparation tournaments before French Open on home soil. Now it's French Open. It's 5 sets. He's going to be tested. He has a qualifier in the first round. Maybe the Japanese player Taro Daniel in the second round. And then in the third round, I think it's going to be Brandon Nakashima and not Shapovalov. I don't trust that guy, like I said. And Cameron Norrie in the 4th round, a guy that I think that has defeated him previous in his head-to-head against him. But Carlos plays fantastic. He really doesn't have any flaws. The only flaws I can see that he can get nervous, and he still needs to adjust his mental strength a little bit more. But he's better than 99% of the guys on the field. Believe me, I don't want to disgrade his name or something, but Carlos Alcaraz can win this tournament. He can lose the final. He can lose in the semifinals. But I expect nothing more than a semifinal. Everything besides that is a huge achievement for Carlos Alcaraz. Don't be surprised. I won't be surprised if he wins this tournament. He's such full matured player. He has that capacity. He has the firepower, really, that forehand, that backhand, that movement. And he moves similar like Novak moves on hard court. He moves similar on clay. So Carlos Alcaraz is on my 3rd spot. All right, guys. Then we have my 2nd spot, the runner-up. I'm gonna go with Daniil Medvedev, who has really matured. He has been reborn on clay. The guy that said last year, or was it 2 years ago, he said, I don't like to play on clay. I hate on clay. And then he goes on to win the Rome Masters by adjusting his game. Look at Daniil Medvedev's game. He hits his forehand more flat. He moves better. He's not standing 2 meters behind the service line when he's gonna take his opponent serve in return. Daniil Medvedev has developed his game and played more tactical, smarter on clay, and that's why he has more success now than before. So why do I think that he's gonna reach the final? Because look at his draw. He has a qualifier in the first. He has Hallis in the second round, Wolf maybe in the third round, the American guy, and a big upset alert in Coric. He can actually take out Medvedev. So Daniil Medvedev, why do I think that he's gonna reach so far? It's due to the draw. His biggest test, I think, is the fourth round match against Borna Coric, who has played some tremendously great tennis. I will not be surprised if Coric takes out Medvedev, but first he has to reach that fourth round before he can move on. But Medvedev, he really moves great. He is a wall. He's shot tolerant. We have seen that he can go into 20 to 35 point rallies, and that won't affect his game. He has a great serve. He's a great returner. He doesn't make so many unforced errors. So everything, and of course, he only has to beat one of the guys, Carlos Alcaraz, Stefanos Tsitsipas, and Novak Djokovic, on his path to lift the trophy. So that is why I think that he's gonna reach the final. But of course, he can crash out before, and of course, like I said many times, I won't be surprised if he goes out earlier also. But I expect him to reach the semifinals at least. All right, there's only one guy left. Who is it? It's Novak Djokovic, of course. You're gonna say, so what? Are you drunk? Have the sun burned out your head? Why do you have Novak Djokovic on the top spot? He hasn't convinced me, you, the tennis world out there before this tournament. It seems like he has been a little bit slow. He doesn't have the right focus, the mindset. He doesn't play his best tennis, of course. That's true. But it's Novak Djokovic, for God's sakes. 22 Grand Slam winners. He has another big shot of winning French Open for the third time. And that makes him, and he will be the only guy to have won every Grand Slam 3 times. I think he's out for that record. And of course, he wants to clinch his 23rd Grand Slam tournament victory and surpass the guy that's equal to him, and that is of course Rafael Nadal. Novak Djokovic has already won 3 titles this year: Australian Open and the tournament before, Adelaide, and no, it's 2 tournaments I think, or was it another one? He didn't play the Sunshine Double. He was in the semi-final in Dubai where he lost to Medvedev. He lost in the round of 16 in Bosnia against Dusan Lajovic. And he lost in the quarterfinals against Holger Rune at Rome. So Novak Djokovic, after this hardcore season, hasn't looked super sharp. He has not had that edge that we are used to see him. But it's almost similar to the previous years before. But Novak, we all know that he's not a youngster anymore. He is reaching 37, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But I still think that when he enters this tournament, he's going to be in a different shape with different mental approach. He knows that Rafael Nadal, his biggest nemesis, is not here. He have Alcaraz and Tsitsipas on his way on the bottom of the draw. And he has to go the hard way this time. But I think Novak is the guy that can do that in this field. And of course, Medvedev and Carlos Alcaraz has the same chance. But due to his superior game style, if Novak Djokovic is not injured, if he plays and focus like we have seen him before, I think that he has a superbly great chance of winning this trophy, and that's why I hold him as the number 1 guy. All right, the quarterfinals: Alcaraz defeats Tsitsipas, Djokovic defeats Rublev, Rune defeats Ruud. Even it's going to be a tough contest there. It can go either way. Medvedev against Zverev, 2 guys that knows each other, but Sasha will make too much unforced errors and lose against Medvedev. That's the quarterfinals. The semifinal, Medvedev defeats Rune once again. Alcaraz will take on Djokovic. It's going to be the match I'm waiting for before this tournament, because they haven't met in a Grand Slam. I am so looking forward to this semi-final clash. I'm looking forward to this match more than the final, to be honest. I want to see the new youngster, the new superstar against the beast, the Serbian Terminator, the mean machine from Serbia. I want to see those guys. I hope both of them reaches the semi-final. I really, really hope that. All right. And I only have one upset alert, and that is Bona Coric, maybe Baez. Those two guys, I think that if they play their best tennis, if they have a little bit fortune with the draw, they can reach very, very deep. Otherwise, other than that, I don't see any more upset alerts. I've said that Sinner won't reach past the fourth round, and same with Felix. And that's all for this preview. I really wish the best man win, and thank you for watching this video. Take care and bye bye.